Hi, what's going on, y'all? This is OJ back here with another video, and in honor of UFC legend Cedricus Dumas fighting this weekend, we are going to be going over some of the biggest criminals throughout modern MMA history. And before you ask, no, I am not including any of the guys like Lee Murray or that fat Asian dude who apparently essayed someone because I don't even know if this is true. I don't even know who those guys are, so I'm not going to be recapping them. The farthest I'm probably going to go back is someone who got arrested in like 2014 because for some reason a lot of these guys are going to be talking about who are either still on the roster or like recently retired. Like they've been criminals for a very long time. So I'm going to recap every single fighter who has been arrested for one reason or another, whether it be beating up their wives or beating up their wives or beating up their wives. I'm sure there are other cases, but it just so happens that a lot of UFC fighters love to beat up their wives for some reason. Right, so without wasting any more time, let's jump right into the video. All right, we're gonna start off with the legend himself, Cedricus Dumas. Like this guy has more mugshots than fights in the UFC, and these mugshots date as far as back as 2014. Now, what was he arrested for? I'm not even entirely sure because he's gotten arrested so many times. But just to recap, he was arrested for the following, including domestic violence, just assaulting people, reckless driving, and driving with suspended licenses. And I believe there's also a robbery charge, but I can't verify whether that to be true or not. All right. And the reason I have to bring up Cedricus Dumas is because he took to Instagram today, or like couple of days ago, I mean, and he was talking about, oh, this is the price of being an adult. Because he has like $20 in his bank account, and he decided to post that on Instagram of all places for some reason. Like, dog, that is not the price of being an adult. All right, I'm 23. I have a part-time job, and let me just say this. I have more than $20 in my bank account because I don't get arrested every single, like, couple of months, alright? I've never seen the inside of a jail cell. I'm proud to say that, and I hope I never do see the inside of a jail cell, alright? But somehow, Cedricus Dumas is still fighting in the UFC. He's gonna fight Zachary Reese, and I'm going to suspect that Zachary Reese is gonna win, and I would be shocked if Cedricus Dumas doesn't get cut, but maybe not, because even after getting arrested 12 different times, Cedricus Dumas is still on the UFC roster. All right, now up next, we got John Jones. The guy, yeah, I don't even really need to explain his history, but just a quick recap. All right, he has multiple DUIs. He's gotten arrested for domestic violence against his wife in 2021. He only threatens women. All right, conveniently, whenever some assault case happens, it's only against women. All right, he secretly gropes men. I don't even know if it's a secret anymore because he does it so openly in Thailand. And somehow he still ended up as the greatest of all time, according to Dana White. I have no idea what kind of photos John Jones had of Dana White, but I'm pretty sure they were pretty embarrassing, considering the fact that John Jones, despite being arrested, suspended for half of his MMA career, Dana White still has the balls to go like, oh, he's the greatest of all time. Like, if any other uh, professional athlete from any other sport got suspended or arrested for half of their UFC career, I'm definitely sure that they would never be brought up in the GOAT conversation. It's only in the UFC that John Jones happens to have that title, all right? Do I necessarily agree with it? No, but that is for some reason the general public opinion. But regardless, all right, you can say he's a great mixed martial artist all you want, but in reality, John Jones, he retired so he can start his second professional career as a Cedricus Dumas wannabe. Because even though John Jones may have all the accolades in mixed martial arts, in reality, he wants to be a YN and try to chase Cedricus Dumas numbers, all right? Up next, we got Conor McGregor. Yeah, the double champ. He unfortunately cannot do whatever he wants. He got. Let me read some of the allegations against him, all right? Because there seems to be a common theme around Conor McGregor, all right? 2018, he allegedly essayed Nikita Hand, all right? In 2019, he assaulted an old man at a pub. In 2020, he got accused of essay again. In 2023, he got accused of assaulting a woman on his yacht. And these aren't even all of his allegations, all right? These are just the more popular ones. And Conor McGregor, all right, even if you don't think he's done any of these things, it's clear that something is not right with Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, like, he did kind of assault the old man, and he is prone to being quick to anger and lashing out in general public areas. All right. Now, as for the essays, there hasn't been any sort of defining proof that he did it. But at the same time, why does he keep getting accused of essays? All right, that's not normal. So Conor McGregor, all right, I still appreciate his work. I still believe that Conor McGregor, like, he is fun. It's just now he is kind of being degenerate cokehead low key. All right, it's not, and I can't follow him anymore because I don't know. At this point, like, a couple of those cases might be true, and I wouldn't be surprised because it's Conor McGregor in the year of 2025. All right, now up next we got Ahmad Hassanzada. Yeah, this guy, simply put, is an absolute scumbag, and the reason I call him that is because he was arrested for essaying a 14-year-old girl, all right? He's currently being detained by Sacramento police. The UFC has since released him, all right? They don't really do that, so that should tell you the gravity of this situation. I don't know whether or not Ahmad Hassanzada is out on bail. I do know that the bail was set at $400,000. Yeah, bro, you're pretty much cooked. And I don't really believe that Ahmad Hassanzada should ever be considered a UFC fighter, right? I don't believe I ever want to see Ahmad Hassanzada fight. And good that the UFC actually took swift action for once, because again, we can have a Cedricus Dumas case where they could just keep getting arrested over and over again and just be an absolute menace to society. All right, up next we got Greg Hardy, arrested for domestic violence in 2014, allegedly assaulted a family member, and for some reason, however, the UFC looked at Greg Hardy's track record and went, yeah, we need to heavily promote this guy as the next biggest thing at the heavyweight division. All right. And keep in mind, Greg Hardy was a former NFL player. He did not have any extensive training in mixed martial arts, but after training for mixed martial arts for a couple of months, Greg Hardy somehow believed that he was going to make a successful career in the UFC. And then once he came over to the UFC, he got smoked by every single fighter in the heavyweight division. Right? He has since been released. Am I glad that he's been released? Yes. Alright, it's not even because of his criminal allegations. It's just because that he wasn't really good. Right? He just kind of he was very menacing, but at the same time, like, he had no sort of extensive grappling. His striking left a lot to be desired. And Greg Hardy, yeah, he is an absolute scumbag who, unlike John Jones, didn't really succeed in the UFC. So I guess that's a positive, but hey, Greg Hardy, for some reason, was still being promoted as a big thing in the heavyweight division until he lost to, like, every single fighter on the roster. Last but not least, we got Kuchain Ashkavov. Yeah, many of you probably don't know who this guy is, but basically, this guy, he got arrested for allegedly torturing and robbing a man in Thailand. I don't even know whether or not that's true. I just read it on an article from ESPN. And before that, he lost to Jamal Emmers, all right. And the reason why this made some headlines on ESPN is because Kushain Ashkabab was supposed to fight after he allegedly tortured and robbed a man in Thailand. And the UFC since released him immediately. So, and I don't know where he's at since. I don't even know where he is. I don't know whether he's arrested or not. I don't know if he's walking as a free man. But regardless, there's something wrong with Kushain Ashkabov if the allegations are true. Henceforth, he's on this video because something's definitely wrong with that guy. Alright, that's gonna be it for today's video. Leave a comment down below if you were shocked to learn anything of new about any of these fighters. But other than that though, make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And until then, I will see you guys next time. Peace.